So if you're ready to put this process into motion, you're going to need a project management software. Unfortunately, there is really no way around that. And I've used everything from Asana to Linear. I've dabbled around with Monday.com. And candidly, I have struggled with all of these platforms. But to be honest, they all kind of do the same thing, and I really just think it boils down to personal preference. However, I will say that I just really disliked Asana overall because it was really hard to track notes. And my team struggled quite a bit with Linear because I feel like it's a tool mostly used for developers. So if you're a little bit more tech savvy, that might be better for you. So where I've landed in my personal practice, and what I've also seen a number of really big brands use, is it's going to be a little surprising, but they tend to use Trello, especially for creative production. And I think it's because it's really, really easy and intuitive for creatives to use. So let me actually show you how I'm using mine and how I have it set up. So here is my Trello workspace. You can see that I am just using the free account. So especially if you're a small team, you really don't have to go out and shell out a ton of money for this. But I want to give you an overview really quick. You can see, hey, here's video editing, and here we have client information. This is actually a live client where I was doing work in here. And I actually want to jump in here first, example client. This is actually where we compile all of our research and the creative roadmap and the complete drive, the UGC brief, creator selects, creator tracking. Really any type of document that we're making for our clients, we're going to pop it in here. And then what we're going to do when we actually start working on a specific piece of creative, we're going to give it a card and put client name, project name. Let me pop in here really quick. And you can see here, oh, we have number of variations, the variation details, format, font and text treatment. And then we're also going to link out where it's at in the creative roadmap, testing concept. And we're also going to give an example, likely from Foreplay Board. And then we're going to give 2 to 3 sentences here about the overall concept. You can actually just take that right from the creative roadmap. In many cases, we do just that. And then also a link to the raw assets to use. Edit requests are going to be made here in Frame. So typically we are using Frame to deliver our creatives both internally and externally to clients, and that's where we're actually making the edit notes, but we will paste it here and ping the team members to say, hey, creative's done, take a look at it, just so that they get that notification. Now, this is in draft, right? So nothing's going to be acted on here. When it gets to be here, that's when the video editors know, oh, okay, it's ready to be acted on. So it's going to sit here while they're working on it. And then once it's complete, they're going to be in draft complete. Now you can see here, we also have a deadline. So really, what we're going to be prioritizing, which ones get acted on based on this deadline. If you had a lot of things in queue, you could also add a section right here that's, hey, this is currently being worked on. But once it's ready for QA, it goes right here. If we need edits, then it can go right here, and then it is going to come back to draft complete. And then really once it's finalized in the internal QA as well as the client facing QA, then it's going to be here for launch. And that's when the growth teams know, okay, this is actually ready to go and be launched. And then once it's launched, the growth team is going to drag it here, and it's going to be for collecting analytics, which is going to be done like a week or maybe more than a week. And then once it is totally finalized and we've already gathered all the great learnings and really, prompted to put in those learnings in the creative roadmap, that's when we're then going to be adding it right here. Really, that final step is where we are adding those notes into the roadmap learning so that we can have those all compiled. Let me go ahead and take that back here. But yeah, we're doing this for really every single project. And again, this is how I've seen a number of big brands do it as well, not just agencies or consultants, because this type of platform, it's way more visual. It's a lot more intuitive than something like Linear or Asana. And you can even have a board as well for your UGC creators or for your UGC process. That's also something that we tend to have, which is definitely going to be separate from video editing. But it's going to look really, really similar to this. The next part is the creative roadmap. I'll see you there.